Welcome to this video. Here I would like to introduce our function assign reference values and categories to you. We can open the tool by clicking the icon shown here above. The function helps you to link your spectral data with your results from your wet lab. You can access the function in our software if you have activated our software module QUANT2 in your Opus software. With assign reference values and categories, you can quickly and easily assign reference values or categories to your spectra. As usual in other places in Opus, we navigate via the tabs from left to right. We will start in the tab Components Categories. The button New Component opens a dialog. Here we determine which kind of reference value we want to add to the spectra. First we add the component fed and determine the unit %. Often in your daily routine you will have more than one wet lab result for your spectra. That's why it's possible to create several components at the same time. Here I will also add the component protein and again assign the unit %. In the case of components, reference values are written to the spectra, which will be directly used for later calibration or validation work. But you can also add categories to the spectrum, which will not be used for calibration, but can be helpful in your later workflow. If you work with the Opus database, the categories give you an additional filter function. If you do not work with the database in Opus, then you can skip this part. In this example, we add time of harvesting and the site of production as a category. Both our created components and the categories must now be moved into the list on the right side. So we select the individual components and categories and move them to the right using the arrow. You can delete the entries on the right side by pressing the delete key or change their order with the mouse. In the next step we switch to the value tab and first insert the spectra. On the left side of the table we see the general informations of the spectra, where on the right side we see the reference values and categories columns. To assign values to the spectrum we can enter the values manually as I show for the component fed. In many cases it will be faster and more convenient to copy the values from Excel and paste them here directly. You can do that by using Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V. You don't need to add a value to each spectrum. If no reference values are available, simply leave the field blank. For the category side of production I add numbers to the spectra. Here the spectra would have been measured at 4 different locations and could be filtered by these numbers in later database queries. By checking the box at the bottom you can delete references which were already assigned to the spectra. In most cases this is not necessary or useful, therefore we uncheck this box again. Next we click on Assign Values. Now the informations we had entered are now written to the spectra. If you then open the spectra directly in Opus, you will notice that the spectra have now received a new data block called sample. There the added values are stored. From now on these values will be read out directly when you load the spectra into calibrations or use the spectra for validation in our Opus function file list. I will shortly demonstrate this by creating a new calibration. First I define protein and fat as components and load the spectra. Immediately the assigned values are loaded. This workflow is especially helpful when you exchange data with your colleagues or send data to us at Bruker to assist you with the calibration. Once assigned, only the spectra need to be transferred. There is no need anymore to send Excel sheets with the spectra. So now this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new for your daily work with Opus and QUANT2.